Wait a sec, Hades said when she told them what she'd written. I'm not sure. I want to leave. I mean, Cronus swallowed us as babies, and we haven't been outside since. Who knows what dangers might be lurking out there? Besides, I like it in here. For whatever reason, gloomy, smelly places didn't bother him. Then stay if you want to, said Hestia, but the rest of us want out. Poseidon nodded. Yeah. Do you want to be trapped in here forever? If we don't get out, we'll never age past 10. Cronus's magic spell won't let us. Before Hades could answer, they heard Cronus bark out an order to his army. He was riding into battle in the town of Delphi. Soon they heard the clank of swords all around them. There were more shouts and screams, too. The Olympians quickly made a slingshot out of an old minotaur wishbone and a strip of elastic sinew. There was all kinds of gross stuff lying around in Cronus's belly. After they set the inscribed stone into the slingshot, they pulled it back tight. On the count of 3, they let it go. Boing! The cone-shaped stone shot up Cronus's throat and burst out of his mouth. The fact that it knocked out one of his front teeth as it exited was just icing on the cake. Although they had no way of knowing it, the stone hit the ground rolling. It skittered and bumped its way down a hillside. Then it came to rest at the bottom of a set of marble steps that led up to a temple. Immediately, a white-robed woman wearing eyeglasses hurried down the steps to pick it up. It was almost as if she'd been expecting the stone to arrive. Hugging it to her chest, she disappeared into the temple with it. Chapter 1. 10 years later. Flash! Lightning zigzagged down from the sky. Crack! It struck a 100-year-old oak tree and split it in half. A tremendous clap of thunder boomed overhead. Yikes! Shouted 10-year-old Zeus. He dropped the wooden sword he'd been practicing with. Leaping out of the way of the falling tree trunk, he took off running. He had a feeling the next bolt would be aimed at him. Why? Because he'd been struck by lightning dozens of times already in his short life. A wild wind whipped through his dark hair as he raced for safety. With his heart beating faster than a hummingbird's wings, Zeus dove through the entrance of a cave. A new lightning bolt struck the dirt just outside it, barely missing his foot. Flash! Boom! The storm raged all around him as he cowered behind a boulder. This cave was his home, the only one he'd ever known. And as far back as he can remember, thunderstorms had been a daily event here in Crete. He was terrified of them. Who wanted to be hit by lightning after all? It tossed you into the air and rattled your brain. He ought to know. But that wasn't the scariest part. Each time he'd been struck, he'd heard a voice murmuring to him, "You are the one." What could it mean? Another flash of lightning sliced through the clouds, followed by rumbling thunder. Rain lashed the ground. It flattened the grasses in front of the cave and churned the dirt to mud. But then, as suddenly as it had begun, the thunderstorm moved off. Clouds lifted, the sun came out, and the earth began to dry again. Feeling braver now, Zeus stuck his thumbs in his ears and wiggled his fingers. "Nya, you missed me," he taunted toward the sound of distant thunder. Nearby, he heard the clanking sound of a bell, followed by a bleat. "Meh!" A goat trotted into view. "Amalthea!" He threw his arms around the goat's neck, glad to see her unharmed.